Welcome to Customer Service, 5 Keys to Exceptional Service. I'm TrainerLori. What is exceptional service? Well, it's to go beyond simply discovering a customer's true expectations and learn how to exceed them. Everyone has a bad customer service story, whether you're in customer service from the customer's point of view or in customer service from the customer service rep's point of view. We all have a bad story, and our goal is to try to keep those from happening over and over again. So why do we lose customers? There's a variety of reasons that we can't control. However, the biggest reason we can control, 68% of customers leave because of poor customer service. So our goal is to prevent that. Even if you are in internal customer service, in other words, your customers are your coworkers, our goal is not to have them get upset, because if they get upset, they may cause problems for us with our own managers. So we don't want to lose customers, whether they're internal or external. Now, I want you to think of having your own personal customer service handbook. Many companies have their own, but you personally, we can have our own, and there should be 2 rules in it. 2 rules. The first one is use your good judgment in all situations, and the second, there are no additional rules. So the first of the 5 keys to customer service is, it's my choice. I choose every day whether I'm going to have a good day or a bad day. And when I'm having an interaction with a customer, I choose every time whether I'm going to make it easy for them or hard for them. Use your good judgment, and it's your choice. Make it easy for them. So who are our customers? It's pretty hard to make it easy for them if we work with negative or difficult people. Well, all we have to do is try to figure out, what do they want? Why are they being so negative and difficult? Well, generally, the reason they are is because they need more information and control. Those are 2 general things that everyone who is upset or negative wants. And they want less stress, less hassle. So if we can offer that amongst all the things that we could do for them, the easiest thing is to give them, for example, control over the situation. Let's say that I want to call them back at 3 o'clock with an answer. Well, instead of me just saying, I will call you at 3 with an answer, how about, would it be all right if I called you at 3, or would you prefer to call me, or would you prefer to get your information via email? That gives them control over the situation, even though it's all coming to the same end point. So the second key of the 5 keys to exceptional customer service is to solve their problem. The only reason they're coming to you is because they have a problem. Of course, they don't want to think of it as a problem, and we should never say it is a problem, because it's not a problem for us. In fact, Mary Kay Ash, the founder of Mary Kay Cosmetics, very successful businesswoman, she said, see everyone with a sign on their forehead that says, solve my problem. So when they're coming after you, see that sign on their forehead. It should say something like, address my concerns, because we don't want to ever call anything a problem, or address my issue. But the bottom line is, that's all they want. They don't want a piece of you. They just want their problem solved. Well, there are 5 needs of customers, and they have these problems when they come to you. These are the 5 things that they need. They need reliability, assurance, tangibles, empathy, and responsiveness. We'll look at each of those individually. Number 1, reliability. That's the ability to provide what was promised dependably and accurately. So what does that mean? This is the number 1 customer complaint, that there's no follow-through. You say you're going to do it and you don't do it. Well, I used to work in cable television. In fact, when I arrived there, they had a terrible reputation in the community. The joke was that whenever the wind blew, the cable would go out. And I arrived on the heels of a new general manager, and his goal was to turn it around completely. And in the 5 years that it took, he did. He and our new team were able to change the perception of people so that they didn't think that it wasn't going to happen. So when I first got there, they thought the wind would knock out the cable. By the end of those 5 years, they knew that we were more reliable than any other form of service. If reliability is the number one complaint, it's also the number one need of our customers. They want us to be reliable because without it, we're simply a courteous incompetent. Our goal is to solve their problem. So who is our competition? Is it the other bank down the street? Is it the other marketing company? No. Our competition is simply our customers' expectations. Whatever it is they want, our goal is to try to give it to them. So we need to figure out what they want and then try to give it to them. In fact, number 2 of our customer needs is assurance. That means demonstrating knowledge and courtesy and the ability to convey trust and confidence. In other words, they want to be assured that I know what I'm doing enough to be able to help them. In fact, Rebecca Morgan, who wrote Calming Upset Customers, said, "A customer is someone I take care not to offend, even when he or she is wrong." In fact, 40% of dissatisfied customers cause the problems themselves, and yet they call us and they want us to resolve it. In fact, I've been that customer, haven't you? Have you ever made a mistake and didn't realize it and called the customer service and found out, oops, and how they treated you when you made that mistake makes us determine whether we're going to go back again or not. For example, if you're treated poorly when the client services finds out that you made the mistake versus if they say, oh, you know, that happens all the time and I'm glad that we were able to resolve it so quickly, and so that the customer doesn't feel stupid because they made the mistake themselves. Number 3 is tangibles. That's the physical facilities and the equipment, the appearance of personnel. In other words, it's what it looks like. In fact, it could be even more than what it looks like. It could be what it even smells like or feels like. I actually was asked by a doctor's office to take a survey to find out how did I feel about the surroundings. They knew that they had good customer service with the doctor. Everybody liked the doctor, but they wanted to still improve. If you're not sure how you're doing, measure it. Find out, ask your customers, what do you think of our facilities? What do you think of our service? Find out. Number 4 of our customer needs is empathy, the degree of caring and individual attention provided to customers. Now, a friend may show sympathy. That means I feel sorry for whatever happened to you. But a business response would be empathy. That means I feel your pain, I understand, and I will do what I can to resolve. So we want to show we care in both tone, words, and body language. In fact, this is so important. This is our number 3 of the 5 keys to exceptional customer service. Show you care. Show them that you are there with them in the problem. In fact, when I was in cable, sometimes I would take an hour listening to somebody's concerns and the whole time saying, oh no, did we do that? Oh, I apologize. And let them know I really was on their side. And our 5th need of customers is responsiveness, the willingness to help customers and provide prompt service. For example, how many rings do most Americans say the phone should be answered in a business phone? How many rings? And how many rings or less? I'll give you 3 options, 3, 5, or 8. If you're like most Americans, now I know it may vary around the world, but in the United States, most Americans think it should be answered in 3 rings or less. Guess how many rings the actual business in America, the average business in America, actually answers the phone in? 8 rings or less. That's not responsiveness. So if we expect 3 and we get 8, then we're not getting the customer service we expect. The 4th key to exceptional customer service is to think first. Unlike a friend response or a casual conversation, we can just say whatever we think when we're responding. But in customer service, we want to think it through first. I highly recommend that you actually have a plan with language and write it out. Write out scripts. Now, you're not going to sit and read the scripts, but the more you look at them and the more you refer to them, the more you take the time to think them through ahead of time, the easier it is to say them when it's appropriate. In fact, I just said this one this morning when I was trying to explain something to somebody and I wasn't clear on my instructions, and they called back and said it didn't work. Well, it didn't work because they didn't follow the instructions that I gave them, but apparently I wasn't clear. So I could have said, you didn't listen right. It's all your fault. The good customer service says, oh, I'm sorry I wasn't more clear on my instructions. Notice I use the word sorry, and there is some controversy over whether we should use the word sorry or not. Here's a tip. This is my personal preference. If you are empathic enough, if you are able to act that you care enough with your voice, then sorry would be an appropriate word to use. But if you're very businesslike and you don't maybe sound or act as empathic as somebody might want, showing that much empathy, then you might want to say, I apologize instead. So that's a rule of thumb. If the better actor you are, the better you can get away with saying, I'm sorry. But what you certainly don't want to do is say, well, I'm sorry, and say it without any concern. Service pays. Unhappy customers who get their issue resolved tell about 4 to 6 people about their experience in a positive manner. Let me give you some perspective on that. If someone is unhappy with your company, their experience with you, they did not get their issue resolved, they will tell on average 11 people. 11 people that will all hear how terrible your business is. If they're happy with you, they never had any issues with you, they will tell on average 1 person. But if they were unhappy and they got their issue resolved, they will tell 4 to 6 people. That means that it actually pays for them to have an unhappy experience as long as you can resolve it and work to their satisfaction. In fact, that makes them more bonded to you. That's why we don't want to say that we have a problem when someone calls, that we have an opportunity to turn a blah customer into a solid customer. And finally, the last key to exceptional customer service is I can. That is your ability. You can do it. You can turn a customer around. So no matter how upset they are, you can turn them into a happy and stronger customer than they ever were to begin with. Remember, kindness pays. One can pay back the loan of gold, but one lives forever in debt to those who are kind. Isn't that a great proverb? And that's true. If you show a little kindness, your customers will appreciate it, and they will come back again and again. See you next time.